3. Can you believe it? We've been retired for 3 weeks now officially.
Yeah, and if you've been following our channel, then you know that we retired early, me at 58 and Joe at 59 and a half.
In this video, we're going to talk about our reflections of these first few weeks of retirement and some of the challenges we faced.
And we're also going to give an update towards the end about our home sale here in Arizona and our house build in Alabama. So if you want to hear those updates, make sure you stay until the end.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Tracy. And this is our channel, Retirement in Color, where we talk about early retirement, selling our home in Arizona, and building a new lake home in Alabama. So this retirement journey has been quite the ride. You know, we've had initial excitement and definitely some moments of uncertainty. I would say a roller coaster of emotions. I don't know if you feel that same way, but I know I have. But we have been doing some fun things like sleeping in. The first day of my retirement, I went and got a pedicure. We went and played bingo during the week and actually won some money. We went to the movies, which was nice because the movie theater wasn't crowded at all. And while our daughter wasn't back at school teaching yet, we went and helped her look for apartments. So that was really nice also.
We got offered a free weekend at the Biltmore, but we could, well, because we could go on spur of the moment. People have been happy for us. We've gotten lots of messages and text messages, posts saying, hey, congrats on your retirement. We're finding a lot of fun things to do. As she said, we visited a few of the senior centers in the valley or in the
senior centers? We're not seniors yet. They're rec centers.
Recreation centers, senior centers. So there's water aerobics classes and things we can do at those, a wave pool, other exercise classes, the libraries, we've been to a few of those. We've been looking at the daytime activities. Oh, another fun thing was the first Wednesday of the month, I went grocery shopping. That's senior citizens 10% off discount day. Oh my gosh, it's a jungle. I don't know if it's worth the 10%, but it was fun.
Definitely take a drink before you do that. Yep, because you're going to need it. But retirement hasn't really been all smooth sailing, though. Finding a new routine to adjust to in this new phase of life has been a little bit challenging, and some hurdles to overcome. Not huge hurdles, but hurdles nonetheless. So one of the first things we did was we worked on a budget, which we've always had a budget before, but never down on paper and very specific. So I found this budget after watching another retirement video on YouTube, and I downloaded it, and we can put the link to it in the description box down below if you want to check it out. But it has been really helpful because we can take how much money we're getting in for income, and then there's different boxes and categories that you can tell every dollar where it's going to go. And so we've been having a budget meeting every Monday where we go through our expenditures from the past week and fill them into that budget. So I guess my hurdle with that is being that my initial feeling is, can we do this? I mean, it's hard when you've been working all your life to think that there's not a paycheck coming in. So, along with that, I'm thinking like, will I have a disposable income? Not like we had a lot of disposable income before, but I did have one. And is that going to be totally gone? Like, I'm constantly worried about money. And at this point, I'm still kind of feeling like I can't spend any money until we really, really settle into this budget. But Joe keeps reassuring me that we're going to be okay. But for some reason, I do still have this feeling of like I don't deserve to be retired.
And the budget thing will get solved. I mean, probably should talk a little bit about our budgeting. In the past, we both had paychecks. And what I'd done is we took all of our bills and we divided that by our percentage of income we brought into the house, so that we had disposable income in our checking accounts. And we're doing that again. She gets a deposit for her pension, and I get a deposit for the investment accounts. And it will take a couple months till we get the bills figured out so that they're properly proportioned, so that when she pays the bills that are assigned to her, she has leftover money in her bank account, and that is her fund money, spending money, and we won't have to talk so much about money. But it was working so well that we never talked about money before. Mm-hmm. And we'll get back there again. It's just it's just a difference. It's not like we don't have enough money. It's just we were taught that you could retire on 3/4 of the income because you're not saving for retirement. I'm not so sure about that anymore, because I didn't fathom, well, I guess we knew it was going to cost $2,200 a month for COBRA insurance, but that cost of insurance should go down next year with our income dropping down. So because insurance costs is based on your income level, which doesn't make sense to me, but that's a whole nother political discussion we're not going to get into.
Yeah, we're not getting into politics now. But that is a good point, though. We're not familiar with the health insurance marketplace. If anybody has any advice for us, we will be looking for that advice probably at the beginning of the year. But some other hurdles that I know I've had to face is that now that I have all this time on my hands, and I had all these things that I was telling myself that I can't wait to do in retirement. Like, oh, I get to do that in retirement. I can't wait to do that in retirement. I need to realize that I can't do all of those things that I've been wanting to do in just one day. And that's, I guess, a little bit of pressure that I felt I've been putting on myself when we officially retired. So, things like meal planning. I was going to start cooking all these grandiose meals and things like that. But, it's a process. It's going to take some time to get into the groove. I can't do it all in one day. Another thing that I've been struggling with is, are we going to have enough to do while we're still here in Arizona? Like when we planned this whole thing out, the early retirement and, the wheels in motion for what was supposed to be happening in our lives now to get us to Alabama and our home build, we thought we would be gone from Arizona by now. So we have a lot of stuff packed up. A lot of our stuff is in storage already. And if you know me, I have a lot of hobbies. They're all packed up. So things that I could be doing and enjoying right now, they're all packed up and in storage. And that storage unit is pretty packed tight now. I don't even know if I could find the stuff that I needed to. And so we don't have the lake to keep us busy. Also, I don't have my hobbies. We thought we would be traveling by now because we were going to rent places in different parts of the country while we're waiting for our house to be built. So we're not doing that right now. So am I going to have enough stuff to do here in Arizona while we're waiting for our house to sell? And then along with that, another concern that I had that I never thought of before is, how am I going to get my monthly prescriptions refilled once that does happen when we're traveling, if I don't have access to my doctor anymore?
Yeah. And one of my concerns was, like she mentioned, we put our house for sale a couple months before we retired, thinking, the house will sell, we'll get a temporary apartment. And then once the house we're all moved out and everything's done, then we'll rent furnished apartments around the country. The first place we plan on going is up near Bozeman, and then do Yellowstone National Park. And maybe while we're housed there for that month, we'll go and do Glacier National Park and maybe go over to Mount Rushmore and do that. And then the following month, we'll go up and find a furnished apartment in the Great Lakes area. So we'll have a lot of good content as that starts happening. So we'll be able to put out maybe weekly videos as opposed to every few weeks now, but looking forward to that. But when we're doing that, I'm wondering, where am I going to vote? How am I going to vote? Because we don't have a permanent address. But now I'm thinking maybe we just handle it like we're on vacation and we still use an Arizona address, whether I, use a family member's address or what. But it's still a question we have to resolve because, yeah, it's just one of those things. I don't really miss work, but I do miss the camaraderie and the working with my teammates and that sort of thing. I enjoy I'm not saying that I don't enjoy my time with Tracy because it is the highlight of my life, but I don't know that we have enough distance from work yet to make a true assessment of retirement. So we'll be doing another one of these videos. Maybe it's 6 months and another one in about a year so that we can give a better estimate or better reflections on what retirement means. It's kind of a double-edged sword. We things that I used to do in an hour now take me 3 hours to do because I can. I'm not, trying to race the clock because I got off work and I've got an hour to get things done before I lose sunlight. So now if I don't get up early in the morning and I got to clean the gutters. That's another thing we've done is we've gotten a to-do list every day that we list the things, or not every day, but we have a whiteboard that we keep our goals on so that we don't do nothing, because that's really easy to do when you're retired, is to do nothing. So if I'm going to clean the gutters, that's outside. And if I don't get started early enough, then I'm going to work for 30, 40 minutes because it's hot outside. It's in the 100 teens. Work for a few minutes and then jump in the pool or come in the house and get back at it when I can. So projects that before I would have gotten done relatively quick, trimming the bushes, power washing the patio, whatever it is, they take a little longer, but they can now. And sometimes I don't start my next project because I haven't finished my last project. So I fall a little bit behind my schedule, but you know what? It's my schedule, and it's not as big a rush because almost nobody's telling me I got to get these things done. But our big plan for travel was thwarted a little bit, so we just have to make a new plan and find things to keep us busy here. And that content isn't really something you want to see, so we're not showing you that. But we are staying busy and active, and we're enjoying that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so how has our routine changed, and how are we adapting to this new lifestyle? So some of the things that I've noticed in this new lifestyle is like, for one, like I'm trying to train myself to stay up later and sleep in later, because in my previous life I was falling asleep on the couch 8:30 at night, waking up at 5 in the morning on the days I had to go into the office. So I don't want to do that anymore. That's done. There's no need for that stuff. So I'm trying to train myself to stay up later and sleep in later. And it's taking me a little bit, but I think now, at least I'm sleeping until 7, which is an improvement, because you don't want to sleep the day away either. But also, I've noticed that it's easier to keep the house clean because you don't have to go commando on one day on the weekend to clean the entire house. You can do little snippets here or there, take 15, 20 minutes and do, little things. So yeah, it's definitely easier to keep the house clean. I've been working out mid-morning, which I really enjoy, because prior I would work out at night after work, after dinner, and that was just way too hard to keep up the motivation. So that really slid by the wayside. So I've really been enjoying, taking that me time and working out mid-morning. So, and like Joe said, we've looked at some local rec centers, and hopefully we'll start. It's been nice working out here at home, but we do have that option to go to these local rec centers, and it's really inexpensive. So I encourage you to visit those in your town if that's something that you're interested in. We've been doing lots of swimming, which is nice because we haven't really enjoyed our pool a lot lately, but it's nice now that we've been doing that. And I've definitely been cooking more at home, not as much as I haven't really expanded into cooking as much as I wanted to, but with me still being nervous about settling into our budget, I haven't been wanting to eat out as much. So definitely cooking more at home, but I do need to open up my repertoire. So expand my recipes. So if anybody has any good resources on that, please, I'm all ears. Let me know.
We've also been able to spend more time with family. Both of our parents are getting a little older, and so if they need help, we're able to, schedule time and go over and help them with that. Or another thing I've done is my first week of retirement, I enjoyed it so much I gained 7 pounds. So the next 2 weeks, I lost that 7 pounds again. It's a challenge and something to work on. I appreciate that we are using those to-do lists and we're getting things accomplished, if nothing else, just to keep that sense of momentum and sense of accomplishment going, because that's another thing that you get at work, is that sense of accomplishment as you complete projects and tasks.
There's something about checking off or crossing off something on the list that is very motivating and kind of keeps you going a little bit. So, okay, what are the most significant realizations that we've had during these first 3 weeks of retirement? For me, I think the one standout one is that we have been busy, but it's a different kind of busy. It's not like a rush busy. So, we may have had a few moments of not knowing what to do, but that's in the minority. We've always had something to do. So, and what's nice about having this time also is we can make spur of the moment decisions on what we want to do and how is our day going to look. And we can just get up and go somewhere. Like after we're done videoing here, I'm like, let's go to the mall and just use a couple laps around the mall. That's like about a mile if we go to Arizona Mills. So let's do that when we're done. So that's a luxury we didn't have before. And I guess my last big realization is that even though we're still working out our budget, everything's going to be okay. We're going to be just fine.
Yeah, our outlook on retirement has evolved. It's an ongoing evolution. You don't really think about what am I going to do tomorrow, or what does retirement look like to you until you're there. And we had plans that didn't happen, so we're making new plans. But it's an evolution. It's a process. It's our new life, and we're excited to be experiencing it. And I know we feel some constraints, but in the big picture, things are great. And we're happy to be at this point in our life, grateful that we live in a country that affords us these privileges and responsibilities and abilities. And
yeah, it's definitely been a whirlwind of emotions. And we have a newfound appreciation for this phase of our life. Like I do wake up almost every morning, and while battling those thoughts of like, I don't deserve retirement, I also say I'm retired, and I just like relish, in those emotions. So, okay, so now for the update. Our house here in Arizona still hasn't sold yet. I guess we just picked a bad and weird and funky time in real estate to put our house up for sale. But our last 2 open houses were much more encouraging. We've had more people that were interested in the house, but we still haven't had any offers yet. But we're doing some things and we're working on it. So hopefully, hopefully that'll change soon.
And this house here hasn't sold yet, but there's progress on the house in Alabama. So the power lines are in place, the power meters are in place, as well as the water meter. So it's more than just a lot now. A neighbor told me yesterday that he saw new dirt on our lot, which we knew that was coming. Our builder there was a sloping portion of our lot that went into the 100-year floodplain, and he's building up one corner of that so that the house will be level. And so that evidently has been done. He's also did a video call with us this week, early in the week, where he visited the lot with us and we went over which trees were coming down. And really, there's only one tree that would have been in the house, but he's going to take two others down that were very close to the house, which would have affected our outdoor living space. So total of 3 trees are coming down, which is far less than we originally thought, which is a good thing because we love the look of the lot and the foliage that is there. And we're even talking sometimes about what types of trees we like so that we can augment that a little bit and make it more ours when we get there and have the lot of our dreams. So that is happening, and we're excited about that motion.
So that is where we have been in our first 3 weeks of retirement. We would sure like to hear your thoughts on retirement. If you have any good ones, please go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. We'd love to see them.
And cheers to retirement.
Yeah. And if you want to see how we were able to retire early, then make sure you watch this video here, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.